All right. Welcome to
Oh,
Friday Night.
wow.
Welcome to
We're
Friday
here.
Night Fights yet again. A week has passed.
Yeah, no, a week has passed. I'm Myanodon, and I'm joined by Saku here, of course. Yeah, some really exciting stuff today. Last week there was the Big Ted doing a just massive job of what was it, like 8 hours or something, with a couple breaks, but eight
Yeah, he had,
hours or something like that of of just content and matches. So
yeah, yeah. It was quite the interesting setup last week. So we had fun.
mhm.
Um, he had the double marathon at the end. I think that was the killer. But
Yeah, absolutely. And we did just have a couple new cards introduced, so maybe we'll see some new stuff. I know we have the list for our first match, which our first match of the night is going to be starting here shortly, and that will be a Pro Series match. It's going to be Snake of FTL versus Ridiculous Head of Aeon. They're both 2-0 so far on the season. Uh, the current brings. I don't think we have bands in just yet, do we? I'm
uh,
refreshing. Oh, we do. We do have bands, but
okay, what's her? Well, we'll go through that in a second. Yeah.
yeah. So the classes they brought: Snake brought Druid, Hunter, Rogue, Warlock, and Ridiculous Hat brought Mage, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. And this is pro, so it is best of 5 conquest with one band, open deck list. So we do know exactly what they brought, and I will tell you right now. So for Ridiculous Hat, he brought Highlander Mage, Galakron Warrior with the burn package, the life drinkers, and the Leroy. He brought for his warrior, he brought just Galakron Warrior. Pretty standard list there. And then the Warlock appears to be Galakron with the sort of handlock Galakron version with the or with both Alex's. The Plague of Flames, those kind of the sort of controlling, but also just keeps building a board with
Mhm.
the invokes there. What they just call Galakron Warlock these days. And on Snake's side, we have Zoo Galakron Warlock, some more early game sort of oriented. A Token Druid, another Galakron Rogue. This appears to be a very similar list. Might actually be identical. I'd have to look at them side by side. And Highlander Hunter. So some of the standard decks we have been seeing. I actually don't think I saw any new cards that were just released in either deck. I'd have to look again, but I don't think I did. Do you see any?
I didn't. I don't see any of the new ones that are out for I guess the first week. So not yet.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. So maybe people a little hesitant to try out the new cards, or tried them out and were not too satisfied with their potential. So we will see if that's the right choice, or if the meta starts shifting some more. We will be getting new cards every single week for the next couple weeks, so we might see some shifts. But uh, we do have the bans, like I said. So our hats, Warlock, his Warlock that I was mentioning, the Galakron one with the sort of burn with the Nether Breasts and but also kind of the controlling version with the Plague of Flames,
Yeah.
that is banned out. And for Snake's Rogue is banned out, so we won't be seeing a Rogue mirror. Um,
But does
and
that?
actually, it's a full. They have 3 separate classes for both of them. With those bans, we're seeing 6 different classes here
So it's gonna be cool.
represented. Yeah.
It's gonna be different to see, like outside of the standard rogue, warlock, and warrior kind of matchups here that we've been seeing with odd sprinkling of a druid or a hunter. So
And the mage too.
Yeah.
For ridiculous hat.
Yep. Mage is I'm surprised more people don't bring mage, but I guess it's just not super fast. So
Yeah.
like some of the decks that are coming out. So
it does struggle into aggro if it doesn't get the right draw, and
Yep.
it does look like Snake went more of an aggressive build. So we'll see if he's able to stabilize enough to come back with that mage. I do think that's going to be the one that struggles a bit. But it does have the potential to win those matchups, especially, if you get to those later turns, 8, 9, 10. If you make it to that point, a lot of times you have the win. So I think both players have a good shot here of winning. And, FTL right now, they are leading the Pro Series with 43 points, 2 wins. And Aeon is 1-1. They are currently in, I believe, 5th place.
5th place, yep.
So not in the playoff. It is early, obviously, but they are currently would not make the playoffs with their points. So something they should keep in mind. It is still very, very early.
Super early. That's are we a third of the way through with the
I don't even think we're a third, right? Because we have how many teams is it? Yeah, no, it's more than that, isn't it?
I thought it was 12. But...
I thought it was more. Maybe it is 12. But either way, it is 12. You're right. So it's 11 weeks because it's Swiss of the regular season. So we're only at week 3. So we're not even. Yeah, we're not even a quarter.
We're just getting a taste.
We're just getting to the quarter of the way through the season here.
So.
But still something for them to keep in mind. They'll want to get as many points as they can to just keep fighting for those spots. So potentially important win here for Aeon. But I think both of these teams are big contenders, and I'm excited to see the first match of this week for them.
Yep. So I got both players that are ready to go, so I'm just going to let them do their thing, and we can do our thing, and people can watch the thing. So
all the things.
All the things in a row. That's 3 in a row.
Watch the thing, do the thing, play the thing, talk about the thing.
And interview the thing. The winning thing.
Yes, so. The winning thing will be in. Sorry, we don't mean to call our players things. They're...
Thing 1 and thing 2 is a thing.
It is a thing. For you Dr. Seuss heads out there. Okay, yeah, so they should be jumping in shortly. What do you expect us to see here to start? I might consider the warrior for our hat. It does, I think, have solid matchups into most of these. I don't know how it does into the druid. This is very much like a board centric version, which if it gets behind it loses, but if it gets ahead it can just shut out the druid. So we'll see if it can get there. I do think on the side of Snake, the warlock might be the one that struggles unless he can find the mage.
I was gonna say, if anything, I think maybe Snake might start with the hunter, I would think.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I think it's a pretty even matchups across the board.
Yep.
Some favorable, some but not anything too one way or the other, where some of the decks kind of do have those very polarizing matchups.
Yeah. So just waiting for those guys to hit the play button and go from there. So Snake is going to be on the bottom as we're spectating here, and our hat's going to be on top there. So Snake doesn't have his spectate on, at least not on my side.
Yeah, I think you're right. He does not have it on just yet. I'll let you
yep, just did it.
Let him know. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see this match, and then stick around after the match. We will have a second match coming up right afterwards that we'll introduce after we watch this one. So let's see here.
So we do have Druid for Snake, and we have our hat with Rogue.
All right, so not what I expected to come out first, but I think Rogue's just a very powerful class right now, and could definitely get that early win here. Although Druid, if it gets on the board, sometimes they struggle to deal with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if he's able to stay, get this early board going. And that's a good hand to do it with the.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So Snake looks like he's got a pretty decent start.
Yeah. Yeah, you really like seeing the Acorn Bears. I think is it the only one drop? Tree Enforcements as well in the deck. So Tree Enforcements may be just slightly better in this case because of the Dendrologist in hand, but not going to be too upset. You have landscaping to just. I mean, you're just building tons and tons of boards.
Arrowhead's just making sure that there's nothing sticks. So debuff or whatever. So.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to be too upset finding that Kobold Lackey. With this SI7, it's actually going to be able to clear this really cleanly if he chooses to go that route. And there's actually one of the new cards that I know that Discover allows you to find or get cards that actually haven't been released yet. I don't think it has Shopbot been released with the.
It was, yeah. So Shopbot was released.
Okay,
so
it was
we slipped. Yep.
Because I know some of the cards I believe were being found by Discovers and random effects that haven't been actually released, or those wings haven't been released yet that you unlock them from. But yeah, that's actually interesting to see. So he had the Pharaoh Cat, and
this guy's
found actually a non-rogue card. So there's actually, I think they introduced 2 new minions that are reborn that are neutral that the rogue can now find. It doesn't matter for this specific list, but there are some of these Galakrond rogue lists that run the what's it called? The Discover package.
Right.
The what is it called with the man? Why am I blanking on the term for it? But you know what I'm talking about. The sort of Vendetta and all the Discover cards and Burgle.
Yeah, Burgle. Yeah, I was trying to search the list myself. Yeah, Burgle. Here we go.
Burgle. So with the Burgle rogue, these 2 new reborns that are not neutral, kind of increase the chances that your Pharaoh Cats, which you love seeing on turn 1, gets you a card that activates all your Burgle mechanic stuff. Not going to come into play here, but still not a bad, 2-mana 2/2 with Reborn, is able to trade into Treants really nicely.
Inconsistently, yeah.
Yep. And we're seeing that it's actually, with that really strong start, but not much following up here. No 5-cost spell to activate both these Guard Gnomes. Just a Blessing of the Ancients and the Soul of Forest. A lot of buff stuff, but nothing to build the board just yet. So stalling out here for Snake, and it looks like Arhat may have been able to, weather the storm here, unless we see something big come off the top for Snake.
Yep.
Interesting choice though for that early Galakrond. I suppose no invokes in hand. It still reads draw 1 free card, and that free card was not bad, and you're able to get 2 lackeys from it, and that hero power is probably something you're not too upset about getting into Druid. Wow, really rough when you have to Soul the Forest 2 minions. You're struggling.
He's got really nothing. He's trying to get rid of that Reborn.
They are playing at the speed of light here, though. There's no messing around. They know exactly what they plan on doing. And yeah, so a little bit punished for the early Galakrond, but not too upset. You do like seeing that on 7. He could have gotten an extra free card, I suppose, but it would have been 2 turns away because he would have drawn the Evil Miscreant this turn and then the Shielded Galakrond. So probably actually making the right read here. You don't want to let the Druid restabilize once you've established the board. So just playing cards that are playable and keep pushing is probably the right strategy.
Yeah, I don't think Snake's got too much of an answer at this point. He's just hoping for no.
Wow, it's actually pretty funny, the Aeroponics here, because it is a 5-cost spell, but right now it's 3 costs, so these Guard Gnomes are not active. I actually would have considered trading this 4/5 in, but and then maybe you could get Aeroponics for cheaper and cycle more. But yeah, with the lethal presented on board, that's not going to cut it. unfortunately, with the Treeponix discounted, it also doesn't discount the taunt there, so a little bit awkward. And our hat goes up 1-0. That rogue, like I said, rogue's really strong right now. It was able to do the thing and beat the druid. We'll see if this druid is able to kind of find the right matchups.
I was trying to remember which format we're using for Pro, but it's Conquest now, so.
Yep, Conquest. So no, we won't be seeing that rogue anymore.
Bye bye rogue. So we got mage versus druid. So.
All right. So yeah, just gonna keep chugging with that druid. Hope to get a win somewhere. I think this is probably a close matchup. I think the mage druid. It's gonna come down to that early board again, similar to the rogue. Obviously, the decks are very different, but similar sort of style for the token druid. What it wants to do is establish early and maintain the board. Otherwise, if it gets to those late turns, the mage has a lot of tools to deal with these boards that the druid's going to be putting out. Yeah, I think the druid really kind of wanted to find maybe the warrior here. Actually, I think Galakrond warrior doesn't have great tools to fight for board. I guess the invoke does a good job, but yeah. Cycling a little bit better this time, though.
Yes, I was just going to comment. He's been a little bit favorable with some of the cards that were coming up for him. So
yeah, working a lot smoother this time around, and that's definitely a card you want to see on our head side.
Yep.
It just slows down everything that they're trying to do, and Power of the Wild is going to be enough damage with hero power, but you can't actually hero power with it, so it's just short 1 damage here to kill this. It's kind of awkward.
I was just gonna say it's pretty bad when you're looking at it. It's like, geez, all I need is one more point. That's it.
1 more point or 1 more mana, but
yep.
Not able to find it. So these it's only 2 treants, but it does slow things down quite a lot.
It also gets your muncher. I can't remember what it was called. Mulch muncher?
The mulch muncher, yeah, exactly. That does discount that. Pretty happy about the Luna. I think something that you can play that puts something on the board and is also a pretty powerful card in its own right. Lets you cycle even more, especially with this Arcane Intellect or this Book of Specters in hand.
No.
And yeah, so we'll see that Arcane Intellect come down. I think making the right read that you don't really want to mill, or you don't want to discard some of these spells. You really need these spells into the druid early. And wow, the Zephyrus is going to be pretty nice.
This be our neck of the woods.
That gnome's going to come down? Nope. Forced. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so deciding here for Snake that just saying I can't wait on this. I want to make a sticky board now and keep developing every single turn and use my mana as efficiently as possible.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Garden Gnome is probably good, but it's also coming on to Blizzard turn, so I think that's potentially what Snake was considering there. It does get super punished by Blizzard if he doesn't give these to Soul of the Forest, but
yeah,
it is a lot less, big stuff. And I guess you don't mind seeing the Blizzard that much when you have something like the Forest State in hand, and in a couple turns you're going to be able to redevelop a really big board.
Mighty Tree going to come down.
Yeah. I expect we will see Goru come down here. And with that Force of Nature top deck, I expect Forest State to come down next turn because that Garden Gnome's still going to be active with the Force of Nature later. But yeah, with all that draw, he was able to get the Conj combo on the Mountain Giant, which has been a lot less common these days. It was very popular during the Cyclone era when Conj was 3 mana.
Yeah. Now you gotta wait till almost turn 8 to get at least 2 conjures off in a row if you needed it.
Yeah. That's certainly a big board. Not hitting a taunt, which I think is definitely something that Arhat was hoping for. Gonna have another chance here after a trade. It's gonna be able to trade into the 5 and 8 and conch that one, I imagine. Unless, does this Reno have a nice clear? Not really. So I think maybe going for the taunt is probably
If he doesn't get it, nope,
play.
you get it.
And then the Ziliax, yep. And then you're able to clear another one, and your taunt, you know, keeps you a little bit healthier. Let's see, how much damage is this with Blessing of the Ancients top deck? I guess you do that twice.
He's doing the math, so it still
Yeah.
takes 2 to get through, because...
Yeah, always going to
Ziliax,
take
yeah.
2. Yeah, so now that was a very quick kind of Savage Roar, but... And I understand that you want to, you're dead, or you're potentially dead if you don't clear some of this, so clearing it is probably what you want to do. Now the question is how you do these trades. Are you going to take 3 damage, or are you going to take the 7 just to keep more of your guys alive? Does opt to take the 7 and then push with the other 2. So facing 17 damage on board, that's a little scary. How close are we on? Is there anything in the mage deck that could get lethal here? Calicos is still... I mean, Calicos could have been lethal right there. So
Wow.
choosing to be a little bit safer, probably the right play. But maybe missed lethal. Calicos, we only needed just a couple of damage. So Fireball, or I think, was Frostbolt enough? Oh no, because you couldn't ping with it. So yeah, I think Fireball or anything like that would have done it. But taking the safe route, working out here, and this Druid is struggling. That's 2 down for Arhat. Just has to find a win with this Warrior, which I do worry about a little bit. But with that Zoo still up, I think it's just a matter of time. This Druid might be a little tough of a matchup for the Warrior, but I think the Zoo should be a little bit easier, and when that does come out eventually, it's definitely favored for the Warrior. I'm not sure about Hunter, actually. I think I want to say the Hunter is pretty even, so I expect the Druid one more time, because I think maybe that's the matchup Snake was hoping for, is Druid into the Warrior. Not finding yet, and definitely needing that Druid win at some point, so gonna have to make the decision if he wants you know, to get that early, the win with the Druid right now, and get some points for his team, and potentially like from there move on to win, or go for, you know, the matchup he thinks is the least likely to win, like the Warlock, and just get things over with. If he doesn't win with that, he's never gonna win the matchup.
So I was just gonna say, what's the odds of Druid winning versus Warrior, depending on the Warrior? Well, it looks like it's the Galcon one that we kind of picked out anyway.
Yeah, I think the Druid is favored to some degree. This is a great, you know, starting hand for Arhat, I think, into this matchup, but not a bad hand for Snake either. Just missing a couple pieces that could really bring it together. You need something to summon Treants, and then your hand looks pretty good. Excuse me. And there you go. There's one. The question is, do you save it here? Because that's worth considering. You want to really get it to go off with the Dendrologist with this hand.
Yep.
Nope. Choosing to build a board. You don't care about those spells. You've got enough in your deck. You play spells in your deck that you want to play. So finding...
You're just trying to find damage, quick as possible.
The one trouble with doing that sort of play is you could potentially run out of steam. Aeroponics will help you draw a little bit, though. So not too bad. And yeah, this is also an interesting choice again, because this Tree Enforcement, it's like it's sort of, by playing that Dendrologist, you're playing minions, which is great, and that's what you want to do. With this deck, you want to just keep playing minions and push, but it's going to be a little tricky to get a lot of these Treant things to go off. You know, we see the Aeroponics was 3 that turn, and he had 3 mana, but he had to play the Tree Enforcements to get it to be 3 mana. So sort of the curve's a little awkward. If he had waited 1 turn on the Dendrologist, he would have been able to Tree Enforcements into the Dendrologist and maybe find a good spell. Or, you know, this turn he would have been able to Treant and then aeroponics for draw. Now it's kind of awkward, but I think I do understand the line and kind of just play out your cards when you can, because you really just want to win the board and leverage that for a victory.
Does your scale
Now our hat's just putting on the pressure right now.
Yeah,
Every turn is invoke, so
yeah, and he's got the Kronks in hand to draw the Galcron if needed. If we even get to that point, we are at 2 invokes, but have a 3rd in hand, so 1 away from a fully invoked Galcron. Wow, that cannot feel good, but it does let him aeroponics here once. I do really like that play. That's pretty smart.
and
Yeah,
plus
double Forest Aid. Oof. Wow, that's as good of a battle rage as you can
Wow.
expect. And hitting 2 of them.
Yep.
Hitting Galcron, maybe a little bit awkward because I think you were setting up for the Kronks next turn, but now you've drawn enough cards that you don't need to Kronks anyway. You've got Shielded Galcron, and with that Shielded Galcron and the Awaken in hand, you can get a fully invoked Galcron by turn 8. Not quite enough mana to get it done by 7, but
Really needs a taunt, but clearing the board is gonna be good enough right now. Do our Scion friends come down? No.
yeah, Scion does a good amount of work, but I think just keep invoking here, you're able to clear one of these.
Yeah.
And you can choose next turn to Galcron for 2 minions, or you can wait and just play a couple things out with this Awaken. You can combo that with, Cork Run or Frothing or, Bloodsworn even. You could, like, Awaken and Bloodsworn this shield if he doesn't trade into it here.
No.
Or just,
Just lethal.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually just lethal, yeah. I didn't see the Enrage in hand, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, that's just lethal, and that was a quick sweep. Druid 0 in 3. R-Hat just taking it, just quick plays, making the right reads, spotting the lethals, and not much Snake could do.
No.
People have been talking up this Druid, and I think maybe I don't know if R-Hat got a read of the Druid, or just got a little bit lucky with the brings, but that did seem to really struggle there, and we saw it kind of just have a problem with establishing that early board, which is it really wants to do, and R-Hat just brought the classes that kind of deal with those early boards pretty well and got the cards that he needed to do that, and then was able to kind of push from there. I mean, we saw that Warrior Cave, he was the aggressor. Usually the Druid's the aggressor, but nope, not in this case.
He was Captain Damage, I guess you want to call him that. Just ripping anytime he could. So
Just ripping damage.
Yep.
I like it. I think
Good old. We're trying to get an interview here with our hat, so he's just needs a minute probably to get his mic or his headset together. So
yeah,
we can ask him why he played so fast. Why you play so fast?
Yeah, no nonsense. Just trying to make our night a little bit shorter. I know we mentioned, so while we're waiting for him to jump in here, we'll mention the match we have upcoming, which I'm not sure. I think they said they would be able to start a little bit early, so I don't know if you want to let them know if they're available soon. But our next match, which will happen after the upcoming interview, is going to be a Legacy Series match. It's going to be Bill Snyder of Dad Legend, currently 2-0. Against Super Murloc of 4th and Inches 1-1. These are two of the top teams here in the Legacy Series. They're both of them are in the top 4, which make the playoffs. Dad Legend currently at 30 points and 4th and Inches at 39 points. So it's going to be a good match. I think not biased at all. It's not as best as I can be unbiased here. It is my team on one side, but I love good Hearthstone, so I hope we do see some good games here. ultimately, yeah, maybe I do want someone to win, but I'll do my best to be impartial here.
You are always impartial as far as I've known you, and known you doing casting. So even when you're kicking butt in World Cup, you were impartial.
Well, thank you.
See,
I do try my best,
and that's hard to
I'll
do,
try
man.
and-
When you're trying to cheer for your teammate, right?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a really good match. We're going to see that Druid again, and I wonder if it's going to struggle like we saw in this match. The decks are a little bit different. Bill Snyder has the Hunter instead of the Mage that Arhat had, but otherwise the same classes. So maybe there's a chance here for, if we see that Token Druid. I know there's now people have been playing this in Big and Druid with that new Reborn card that was just released. So maybe we'll see that from Super Murloc. But his classes read to me a little bit more aggro focused. So we'll see if that is the case or not. How we doing with our head? Oh, perfect timing.
We
I was
have our
just,
hat. I was just about to say something, but there he is.
There he is, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you feeling? That was a quick 3-0 Druid. Maybe not the class that Snake was hoping.
So I played against Snake in Legacy about an hour before this match because we were paired in both series. And
Lucky for you.
well, Snake won that one
Okay.
because
So
he
it was
swept my
destiny.
Token Druid.
That's
So
amazing.
So you said F that. I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I considered net decking his pro list for our Legacy series match, but I changed a couple cards. But I had the same general idea. Try and beat Rogue by going under it. You saw how well it went this match. It was the same thing for my match earlier in Legacy, except I was the Druid and they were the winner. So
Yeah.
So,
So maybe both of you not going to bring the Druid next week, but it's still I think a solid deck, but did not show its colors here, its potential. But how do you feel overall with that match? You guys were playing so fast. It was fun to watch for sure, but definitely not
well, we
too
wanted to
much.
give you all practice. You have to talk pretty quick to keep up with the match, and I am consistently a very fast player. I should play slower, and I should prep more, but I don't do either, and we just see what happens, and it's fine. I don't know. I think I got pretty lucky in that Mage game, and I think I got really lucky in that Warrior game.
Yeah.
That was the one I was worried about for you actually, but it worked out really well. You had the invokes you needed, and then those battle rages were insane.
Yeah, casual 4 mana, draw 6,
Yeah.
and then kill your opponent 2 turns later. Who's the aggro deck now? I don't know. The Mage one, like, I had thought about it, and I had done the math a couple times, and I figured even if I didn't hit a Grave Horror, they couldn't kill me through a Ziliax. It was close, but the
Yeah.
breakpoint ended up being super awkward for Snake.
Yeah, it was very close. That play actually was something we were talking about briefly. You did play very quickly, so we didn't have too much time to talk about each play. But there was, for me, I was actually looking at the Calicos potential because you were, I think, 5 damage off of lethal or 4 damage off of lethal. I think
5. Yep.
it ended with 5 because he used.
Right.
I believe.
Yep.
But
That's right.
you were 4 damage, so there's tons of mage spells that can do 4 damage potentially, or at least a few.
There's 2. There's Fireball and there's Pyroblast. What else?
Those are certainly there's other ones that could potentially do the damage, like
Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron.
well, Puzzle Box for sure can potentially do that. Also, what I was thinking of is why am I can't remember
Frostbolt?
the
It wouldn't be
name.
Frostbolt.
No, Frostbolt would have been short because he
Yeah.
couldn't pick it.
Cinderstorm if I get really lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cinderstorm. There's definitely, it's not guaranteed, but there was a potential there, and that was something I was considering. But you definitely made the smarter play. I just was memeing that you missed lethal potentially by not going for the Calicos, but it also could have cost you the game. So
Yeah, there are
Don't-
a lot of mage spells in the pool, and it would have been a better highlight, but I prefer
Right.
just once I hit the Grave Horror, I said there's no way they can get through the Grave Horror and the Ziliax and deal me 25
Yep.
with 4 minions in play. And that math ended up being correct. And then I don't know. I think the luckiest part of that game was the Arcane Intellect and the Ray of Frost with the Stargazer Luna down. That was pretty
Yeah,
sweet
that
on
was really
on
nice.
turn 5. I played the Luna instead of the AI after the Doomsayer went off. I really wanted initiative. All their minions at that point in the game are 2/2s. So a
Mhm.
2/4 trades really well. And I figured I'd draw something. I didn't expect Ray of Frost, the far right card in my hand after playing an AI, but we'll take those.
You'd take those,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take those. Yeah.
Well, he'll definitely take those, and it let you do that giant turn and get the giant conj off on I think turn 8, and then he wasn't able to clear the giants, or wasn't gonna do anything with them, just try to go face and beat you before you can beat him, and then you were able to get a taunt. At least one of the three three minions that you spawned was the taunt, which I think was crucial in the end there.
Yeah, it was probably safer to play the Bone Wraith instead of going for the Conjurer's Calling, but I didn't just want to not lose, I wanted to win. And I
Absolutely.
think the calling there really sets me up to win the following turn or 2 turns. I really don't want to go late against a deck with the Forest Aid in it, because Token Druid seems like a deck can go late, and then they play Forest Aid, and then there's another one waiting. I don't really want to be in that situation. I just want to kill them. So, we got
Absolutely.
there.
And that you did. You did very well.
I think you
Yes.
made some good reads and good plays, and got a little bit lucky here and there, but that's what Hearthstone's all about.
Oh, that draw 6 cards and then turn 7 lethal my opponent was that fortunate? Was that what that was?
It was it was a pretty standard game for my opponents, but I think
you
it
got
was fun
lucky.
to watch and very, very cool. I appreciate you guys coming on, and I actually somehow Arhat and I were not friends in Hearthstone until this moment, so
Yeah.
I
You
looked
made
for you
two
because
new
I was
friends.
certain.
Yeah.
I was certain you were both on my list somehow, and I guess I just my stream times are like grown up like weekdays during the daytime kind of thing, and that's usually when I play, and so I hadn't really been in one of the newer THL streams. But glad to have you.
Well,
Yeah.
we're glad to stream it. Thanks for jumping in there.
Of course.
Yeah, any other thoughts here for your match, or anything you want to say to Snake, or I guess the entire FTL team maybe?
Well, GG Snake, great opponent in both series. We traded wins. So, thank you for being, as always, a great opponent. Props to FTL for having a really scary pro team, and I hope they lose this week, but they're a very good team. And props to Donde and Saku and Mayanadon and all the other content creators out there for making stuff for us to watch on the weekend and really remind us and what THL is all about. It's about having a good time and going face.
Yes. Smork.
And we
Smork
got
is
to
the
do
way.
all of that and more today. So appreciate you coming on and doing the interview. I wasn't sure we were actually going to be able to get an interview, so we
Yeah.
haven't had too many recently, and I do enjoy doing them.
Well, I planned an hour for this match and it went 22 minutes, so it's like, all right, we can talk for a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I total tangent, but I think we're just waiting here for the next match. Anyway,
we're good to go.
So, we're good.
They
We're
are
good.
ready.
Okay,
All right.
then never
Have fun,
mind. No
boys.
tangent. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much,
and,
Seth.
yeah,
course.
Good luck in next week. I guess you finished your matches for this week. So
Yeah, we're all good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Have fun.
Take care, man.
take care.
Bye.
All right, so our next group, as
right.
we've kind of ripped through, is Super Murloc versus Bill Snyder. I got the bans already, so what do you think is banned in this situation?
Okay, what do I think is banned in the situation? I think for Corbin / Bill Snyder, I want to lean like Hunter or Druid maybe. I think those can be pretty tricky if we see the face Hunter or token Druid. We did see it work out, leaving it up. So maybe after seeing this match, maybe leave the token Druid up. But I do lean that way for Corbin's ban, and I think for Super Murloc, either the Rogue or the Warrior, maybe. What do we have?
Well, what the bans are going to be, and I'm going to flash this up here right now, is
Did I get it completely wrong?
we
Somewhat
have
wrong?
Super Murloc's Rogue banned and Bill Snyder's Hunter banned.
Okay, so I was totally off.
I wouldn't have guessed either. I would have figured like maybe both Warlocks gone. I don't know. Hunter I expected, like That's almost like a 50-50 kind of ban if it's up there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I could definitely see the hunter. I think especially in some of the lower seeds, you see the hunter being banned a lot. I think it's seeing a little bit more prevalence in the higher ranks of the ladder, and so they're used to playing it, and they don't like playing it because it can definitely be frustrating to play against. It seems it just goes face and ignores what you do, and sometimes it gets there. And it gets there enough times that you don't really want to risk that in a legacy match here. So understand getting rid of that as well. And then Rogue, we were talking about at the top of the show for the previous match. It's just a really strong class right now. So I agree with both bans. I think it could have gone different ways, and we'll definitely see sort of the choice of specific archetypes be built around what the ban
what the ban
was.
Yeah. So I got both players, just told them they can start hammering it out. So Super Murloc will be on top with Bill Snyder on the bottom. So for us, it's going to be Bill Snyder as our first spectate.
Perfect.
See if Bill's got a spectate on. He does.
All right. So we got to start. Bill Snyder. Corbin, Bill Snyder, Cadillac, Roberts, something like that. Corbin, Bill, Cadillac, Snyder, Roberts. It's one of those names. He is playing the Rogue.
Rogue, yep.
And it does appear to be the burn version, at least from what we could tell so far with those life drinkers. And Super Murloc bringing that Druid. So, Druid, let's see if he can get there.
He's got a quest Druid? Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that.
So, this actually is the other Druid I mentioned, the Embiggen Druid list. So, it's very, very... from my experience, I've only seen it a couple times, but it feels very high rolly. There's two cards you really look for. It's Embiggen, obviously, and Breath of Dreams. Having that on 2 and active with a dragon in hand is just ideal. I don't know what you have to think about here. That's exactly what you want to do on turn 2 for Super Murloc.
He just wanted to make sure he had a dragon.
And there's the Embiggen.
Oh my god! So he could play that right now, which I would.
That's certainly the start you want to see. For this deck, and you want to get that Embiggen off before Strength in Numbers goes off, because you just summon a minion that's buffed already from your deck.
Oh,
and second
goodness.
Embiggen, I don't know. I've actually never seen this in the games I've played. Getting both, you definitely run both because you want to hit one at least.
But
the question is, do you want to increase the cost of your minions in your deck by 2? That's a lot. They're gonna be huge though, so it's probably worth it.
And you don't see much right now from Bill Snyder on board, so you're not really worried about damage so much.
Yeah, wow.
But he's got his quest started too? No, that's a different quest. Okay. Side quest is what he's got up. I thought it was the actual.
Yeah, that's the side quest that you spend the 10 mana and summon a minion from your deck. Wow, those are going to be some big boys coming off the top. And Corbin, Bill Snyder not having too much to do just yet, hitting a lot of the top end of the curve, and choosing to hold on to the coin to maybe swing things in his favor with an Edwin. But Jesus, that skill rider.
That's a big 5/7/7 to tell you what.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Corbin here to come back with this kind of start for Druid. This is the nuttiest start I've seen with this list in the few games I've seen. But double Embiggen and the Breath of Dreams to start ramping a little bit.
Yeah,
it's 7/7 for 5 mana, deal 2 damage. Oh boy.
Next you bring out your Oasis Surger just to get that out of your hand, unless there's a better card that comes up, but still.
Yeah, I think anything that comes out of your deck is going to be just better than your hand here most of the time. They're all buffed by +4/+4. You.
Oh god, what's Leroy say now?
10/6.
10/6.
Or 7. Wow. Yeah, I mean it definitely it's going to be an uphill climb here, especially with that start, and playing that. Summons.
Wow.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's
Huh.
actually... If none of these minions are dead next turn, this is setting up lethal potentially with the Leroy, actually. You're going to be able to push 7 here. They're down to 20. You've actually just got lethal on board. You don't even need the Leroy.
No. So I think this is a quick one and done right now.
Yeah, I think this one, I don't actually see anything that Bill Snyder can do here. Shield of Galakron comes down, but you can, double trade these Oasis Sturgers into it, and then you have 15 plus the Leroy.
And he doesn't
for
even know that
25.
Leroy's in hand, yeah, so it's a little rough. Real rough for Bill.
Yeah, as far as Bill knows, the Shield of Galakron keeps him alive, or some combination of cards plus this Titanic could also potentially keep him alive. Maybe he's considering some big Edwin here with this Titanic. Yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna see. Shadow Step this. You can even
Praise Galakron twice.
yeah, you can
Or-
eviscerate something here and play this, but this does not protect your face. And yeah, you made a 10-10, but it's not going to be quite enough, and that's going to be it for game 1 here. The Druid actually making it through. We saw Druid lose 3, and then now we saw Druid win 1.
Oh. He wasn't messing around. He just wanted to say -8 for you, pal.
Well, that certainly starts things off here. With that gone, what do you think Corbin's going to do here?
I think he's gonna stick with Rogue still, because you get a Warlock. He does pretty well versus Warlock. I don't know. It's hard to say what. I wish it was open deck. Open deck makes it so easy just to do casting, but I'm trying to remember how many versions of Warlock there is now. What, 3?
Yeah, there's 3 sort of popular decks for Warlock. There's Galakron, there's the Galakron Zoo, and then there's Hand Warlock.
Yeah, Hand. Yeah. Hand is most popular, so that's what Super Murloc's got right now. So, and it's Warrior. Okay. Bill with Warrior and Super Murloc with the Handlock.
Yeah, and this does appear to be the sort of actually, yeah. No, this is Galakron Warlock, because we see the Invoke card right there.
Yeah.
This is sort of the hand version we were mentioning that does run things like the Dark Skies,
Right. Sorry.
Mortal Coil. It does have a little bit of heal, and this is the Cheaty Ankle Biter list. So one of the popular builds that we have seen. Not too much to do just yet. But start chipping away for Bill Snyder here. I think this is actually a solid matchup for the Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
They just are able to push that damage quite quickly.
Never actually watched the animation of the Frothic Berserker when it's gold.
Yeah.
It's mesmerizing.
Really frothing.
At least it's not a beer he's spilling, so that's good.
So yeah, a couple of options here. Could just drop that frothing, or Temple Berserker, or combination of things like that. Yeah. I think the frothing is probably a good play. There is the Nether Breath is not active, actually. No dragon currently, so
Yeah.
no way to easily clear this. You can cultist and play the Plague of Flames with your coin if you want.
Nope,
Or Dark Skies does 9 damage, so we'll be able to clear this. It's going to take a minute, though. How big is this guy going to get? He's going to take, I guess that was 6 damage, so yeah, it goes up to 8, but...
But his
There it
health
goes.
total goes down to 0. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Yeah, just continue to tempo out here for Bill Snyder. While Super Murloc is oh, and
So now we have
there's a
some active.
dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, so both Nether Breaths are active. That's actually like a lot of damage from hand, but I do think we're going to see them come into play more for healing and removal in this game. Interesting. So going for the Nether Breath Mortal Coil, just get rid of this Temple Berserker and draw a card, which I do like. We do see the Bloodsworn Mercenary in hand with the Inner Rage, so always going to be able to get that combo off at some point. And there's the invoke you were hoping for. You're definitely looking for with that Scion in hand. You've invoked once, so this lets you get that.
Devoted Maniac out there to throw some damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can swing with this Chopper
Mhm.
as well with it. Potentially considering a Inner Rage Mercenary turn here. And I could also see that, just tempo, try to win the board. But I do like just kind of getting this Scion online.
You can always tempo next turn, I guess. Bloodsworn with Inner Rage.
You might need the Inner Rage Bloodsworn combo for something a little bit more
True.
aggressive, like the Cork Run or something.
Right.
Especially because it is Warlock, so they don't have too many healing options. They do have Nether Breath now, and we see the Cheaty Ankle Biter was also in the hand. It heals a little bit. So there are a couple of heal cards, but not too many. So you really do want to leverage kind of pushing that face damage when you can.
Good clear.
Second Bloodsworn Mercenary. Not exactly what you're looking for.
So 2 for 1 here, or maybe? Nope.
Yeah, I like that play, but I also think that maybe you need the Bloodsworn combo to win this matchup at this point. These 3/2s, like the Warlock has so many ways to get rid of low health minions. Or just minions in general with Plague of Flames and this Ankle Biter. This is interesting. What I guess you go for the Mortal Coil here. Okay. Just cycling. I mean, cards help you win the game. So.
Oh, he is gonna use Plague of Flames. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess you're this far ahead at this point. You've got a ton of cards. They're running out of stuff, and you have a card or a button that draws more cards if you need it. And now you've got one invoke down, still one more away from getting this Veiled Worshipper online. And this is what I was sort of talking about, where it's a little bit of a punish. This still works out okay because you can trade it like that, but you are missing some damage that maybe you could have gotten off. And now we might just see Nether Breath into Plague of Flames or something just to get rid of these. Go face with the 4 damage, or just keep building a board. You can like Nether Breath and play the Cultist and just trade the 3/1 into one of these or something.
Yep.
There's tons of options. I think there's a plethora of ways to deal with this, and it's going to come down to what Bill Snyder gets off the top now that he's sort of stalled out and had these more mercenaries kind of sitting in hand and not doing too much.
Do you do Nether first, or you do Plague first? Because you're going to take out 2 anyway, right? No, he's going face. Interesting. Going face first and then Plague. Okay. 1 card left actually dictates what the other players can be able to do.
Yeah. Well, there's one more invoke. There's still a good shot here. Murloc was able to invoke again, so he's going to be able to cycle a ton of cards. But, with 3 invokes, you're just like one card away from potentially, swinging back in your favor for Bill. Like, if he finds the Galakrond, he's able to draw 2 right now, plus, buff them and play those minions potentially. Although, oh, and this deck does run the Sacrificial Pact, which you can play on your minions like this,
Like right now.
like right now, if you so choose. Might be a little premature. I don't think you're scared of dying from 915.
Another Invoke. So this is just one card at a time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the dream scenario could happen. We've fully invoked. We've got 4 invokes. Definitely not a favorable position for Bill Snyder, but you know, a top deck of Galakron or Krogs could just swing the game. You know, both Plague of Flames are gone, so minions that you get, you know, on the board are going to stick more likely. There's one more Dark Skies, but the hand's not quite as big. This Alex isn't online yet. Krogs will draw you the Galakron for Super Murloc, which I kind of like, but and just not finding
Anything.
much of anything. But
Yeah, but at least he's getting rid of minions, but he's also hurting himself in the process to...
yeah, you really want him to be going face with that damage if you can, but it's just not going for him here. And oh, interesting. So this list runs Amalgam, which
Yep,
I definitely see the value of that. It does activate your Nether Breaths because it is considered a dragon. It also works like this. This is going to be hard to beat. That's a lot of heal, and Inner Rage is certainly not the card that does it.
Wow. Bill not getting the draw like he needs.
Yeah, certainly not. And working out pretty well. And here comes the Krogs. We're still 1 away from the fully invoked, but now able to do that here. And I think unless something miraculous happens here, I think that's probably the game. I'm not really sure what, you know, Bill has in his deck here that could save him. This is certainly not it. Can clear that and heal him to full, but you're still looking at more than enough damage. So I think that's going to be the game. Yeah, you clear this, and then you're still looking at 9 damage. I guess you can heal up to 11, but this Galakron's going to come down and just finish the job. Fully invoked with the weapon. And that's 2-0 to Super Murloc. Definitely not the way I thought this match would go so far, but gonna have to find a win with the Hunter into these decks. So we'll see what Hunter that is after this. And Corbin gonna hope for a reverse sweep here.
Well, Super Murloc just had the answer for everything that Bill was throwing at him and able to control the board.
Mm-hmm.
Light stuff on fire and all that's good stuff that Warlocks do.
Yeah, we saw earlier in the Pro Series match, R-Hat able to cycle a ton of cards with the Battle Rage, but not able to find anything like that with this Warrior for Bill Snyder, and just stalling out and not finding quite enough
So it looks
resources to get there.
Super's got the Quest Hunter.
Wow, yeah, so it is Quest Hunter. I'm not sure how this lines up into these matchups, but we shall see. If I think it might be favored for Super Murloc here, actually.
We'll check here. Unless you're checking. Check,
I mean,
make a check.
Stats say it is, but there's not too many stats on this matchup. There's only like 900 games, and it's slight. So I think it'll come down to this early game. I think, you know, this Warrior really needs to put that pressure down early and just keep going face.
Yeah.
Questing though, I mean, these starts have been pretty good. Unseal the Vault into questing, draw a card and play a minion that contests really well. Yeah, Super Murloc's having a night here, and probably feeling pretty good on that side. We'll see if he can continue though. So a couple of options. You can tempo out the Snip Snap or play the Desert Spear. The Spear is a little awkward. You are able to clear one of these Rovers if you choose, or clear off a Town Crier.
And probably the Rover seems like a better option, but it's also giving him armor twice, right? So
Yeah.
going face instead.
Yeah, choosing to go face with that and use the minion to trade. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess it does have rush, so you can kind of do it this turn, and it wouldn't actually be able to push the damage. But
Yeah.
I think building a board is how you're able to win this matchup.
Bill's gonna use this mercenary to widen the board a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't mind this play. It's pretty much just playing a 3/3 and making him swing the weapon into and the rush into two things, but still, summon a 3/3 and end a 1/1 with gain 2 armor written on it. Not too bad. I think we might see a coin shield potentially with the current hand, but we'll see what we draw. This Galakrond, finally we have it, but no invokes besides this shielded Galakrond in hand for Bill Snyder. On the other side of things, a couple of choices to make, and it looks like he's going to swing into one of these and then use the 1/1 into the mercenary, and then you also have the option to Snip Snap and play a Spring Paw or play Spring Paw Lynx. Like a couple options here for solid removal. I think I do expect the Snip Snap and Spring Paw to come down, just kill the 3/1 and leave the 1/2 up. The Sea Giant a little awkward right now, but with cards like Swarm of Locusts in the hand, it probably will come down sooner rather than later. And yep, so we do see the coin shielded Galakrond. We're one invoke away from these Scions being active, which I think is pretty good in this matchup, but we'll have to see. Yeah, a little bit awkward. You can take the damage, but that's exactly what the warrior wants you to do. And with this hand, it's like you want to play this weapon again because it's the best usage of your mana, but that means you should swing with this weapon. But then you're taking 4 and not getting rid of the taunt either. And I'm struggling to see an easy way to get rid of it that doesn't feel like a waste of resources. I guess with the Swarm of Locusts in hand, maybe you're not too worried about that, and so you're okay playing this Unleash for just 2, in this Lynx, and maybe just clearing the board, I guess.
Taking 4 and then just clearing it.
Yeah, taking 4, clearing the board, but now your board's empty. I guess you have Swarm next turn, so that's not a bad turn 6 to follow up, but you give the initiative away. Unfortunately, not a hand that really does much, and that top deck is definitely not doing much.
Bill's gonna feel bad on that one.
Yeah, that feels really bad to do, but not too many options. This is just super awkward. Like, there's so many cards that you could play from the deck, but you happen to have double Scion with only 1 invoke, and then Bloodsworn Mercenary. These mercenaries just love being in its hand without a good utilization of them.
Yep.
There's a second invoke though, so the Scion will be able to come down for full value in this case. And actually, this Inner Rage, it looks like was hovered, and maybe just clear out some more minions.
I don't think you should do that, to be honest with you. Just hold on to it.
I really... Oh, wow. Using the 4 damage on a 1/1, I don't know if I agree with that. I think that always has to go face. They just summon a ton of one attack minions that can clear these anyway. And interesting choice here with this Ziliax. Is able to clear one of these.
He can also use the Desert.
He can't do both this turn.
No.
So the choice between the two. The Desert Spear. Wow, and he's actually 1 away from completing the quest. Just been chugging along. This isn't too bad, though. You're able to Devoted Maniac, Bloodsworn Mercenary, and just, probably going to see the Galakrond just come down next turn unless something, crazy comes off the top. even though you've only evoked 3 times, I think you have to go for board like this. Just push what you can.
Would you push the witch instead of? We got
Yeah,
9
it's
in
worth
instead
considering. I mean, I think it's he's recognizing that they summon a lot of 1 attack minions.
Yeah.
So making it a 2 health minion is a little bit better than having a 3/1. I think in a lot of these cases. Although, yeah, so we're gonna see this Desert Spear, gonna be able to. So now you have the choice, right? If you want to play this Sea Giant with it, you have to swing face, and that means you're leaving one of these 3/1s up. Which could be a lot of damage here in a couple turns, and nothing to build the board to actually benefit from this new hero power in the current hand. So one more rusher in the deck. It's Devoted Maniac. So I think we're actually going to see that come down to just get a full Galakron next turn. You're going to able to get the weapon, plus you'll have potentially 2 mana to play a minion that you draw. Some of the minions you deck are cheap enough, and they're going to be big. So I do like this play. Now the choice is, do you clear? And I think the safe play is probably just getting rid of this, because something like a top deck Unleash with this board plus the hero power would be very close to taking you out. So wow, actually, yeah, maybe did some of the math here that I didn't take the time to do, and recognizing that Unleash wouldn't kill him in this situation, and this sort of sets up a nice potential lethal. And we'll see. Swarm of Locusts.
It's too late. It's already got lethal on board anyway, so.
Well, this Swarm of Locusts is going to be able to clear with the hero power.
Oh, right. I totally forgot about the hero power. Oh my god. Where am I?
Yeah, so it's actually really good option there for Super Murloc, and this might come down to what this Galakron draws. Because now you're facing reverse lethal. You're 3 damage off. With 2 mana, is there anything with charge that you could get here that does 3 damage?
If he does 2 core crowns?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the mana to play it.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of awkward. Actually, wait, what am I talking about? He has the hero power. He does exactly 8 damage. He is lethal. I wasn't counting the hero power changing
Yeah, that's true.
to the +3. Yeah, so finding the lethal, starting to make that comeback. It's going to be hard, though, playing into this Quest Hunter. I think his Warlock's really going to struggle, so I expect potentially the Rogue coming out here. And then saving the Warlock for last and hoping that, get as many points as possible, and then maybe get that win with the Warlock in the end. But really smart play there from Bill Snyder, finding the out, doing the math there, and we saw him make those the correct reads, go face with the right amount of damage to guarantee that the Galakron plus hero power would do enough damage. All right, so yeah, we do see the Rogue come out for Corbin here, and wow, Hengeclan Hogsteeds double, pretty good, I think, into Rogue. A lot of 2 health minions to start, so just like this Pharaoh Cat. Interesting. Generous Mummy.
Not the one you want to see. Oh, this didn't look like he was going to attack there. I was going to say, what's going on? A little bit slow. Questing comes out.
Be nice the question early.
Are you okay? Seem like yeah.
Yeah, I disconnected for a second there. I have to restart Hearthstone, so take over for a second and tell me what's happening.
Stuff is being played with other things, like our other conversation. So, trying to figure out what Bill should play.
I wonder.
He's got generous mummy, which is not a good thing because that just gives your opponent one less cost card.
Yeah, it's interesting. The generous mummy, I think, it might be okay into this matchup because they're playing a lot of the cards in their hand anyway. Most of their cards are pretty cheap. It does accelerate their game plan a little bit, but again, I think if they don't find their draw cards, you're okay with that. I don't know. We'll see if he ends up having to play it at some point. I don't think it's going to come down soon. I'm not able to see what's going on, and now I've got 2 Hearthstones opening up somehow.
You were trying to do it for one for each eye, man. So he's gonna invoke, and then he's gonna eviscerate it. So that was his turn.
All right, I'm popping right back in here.
Hogsteed and a Harrow Power. Super Murloc. Now we get Devoted Maniac. Yep. It's gonna come down. Punch the hog in the face.
I'm actually curious. I think maybe playing the backstab there potentially worth it, but hoping to hold on to it for comboing, I suppose, or something like this Cult Master. It lines up with really well.
Right.
He's gonna be able to get 1 draw, but that's not the worst. So yeah, this backstab, or you have Kobold Lackey. There's several ways for him to potentially deal with this.
I would do the backstab myself. Kobold can pretty much hit anything that comes on the board if it wanted to. So. Yep.
And it could go face too if you want to do that at some point. Yeah, Dragon's Horde. I kind of like this. Ooh, wow. There's some interesting options. I can't remember what the start of the game, what the opening hand was. I don't think that's probably worth it. Yeah, it was between, I think, Shaw and oh, interesting.
The Druid's dragon there. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't think that wins you the game, so I agree that probably Shaw is the most influential here.
Yeah.
The Ysera was probably the fun choice, but a lot of times you're dead by the time you can play that and get the benefit. So. All right.
Here comes some dogs.
See an Unleash come down, or tracking. Okay.
Faceless Corruptor.
So Shuma builds like a giant board, which is probably what you're looking for, and it curves out really well next turn.
There was some discussion in my team chat about creating Shuma for this exact kind of build. So
yeah,
some agree, some don't. So
I think it makes a lot of sense for this deck because it's just you run out of steam like we're seeing. It doesn't have this crazy draw engine, so a lot of times you need these powerful cards that can help you build a board. It's sort of like Druid in that sense, where it's very tokeny, and then you Savage, or in this case, you play the Hero Power button, and eventually they can't get rid of all of your boards. And Shuma's just another board you can build. Same reason why you play the Locust that we keep seeing.
And at a 1/7.
Yeah, 1/7 that summons 6 1/1s in this case.
Pretty cool animation as well.
Yeah. So 1 invoke away. Oh, that's actually interesting. This Flick could remove the tentacles, all of them here, with 1 swing. And we are going to see that. It could actually Shadow Step it if he wants to potentially do that again to something. And probably going to see the backstab and trade here just to get rid of this.
It's one of my favorite cards, I think. Flick just does so many cool things. In a new series.
And there's that Swarm of Locusts, so gonna complete the quest here and be able to Hero Power. So I mean, finding that Swarm of Locusts each time he's completed the quest, not too upset. And it actually, I think, summons the Griffin. Actually, does it count for the side quest? I'm not sure. It's summoned.
It does.
It does.
Think it gets
doesn't
on there.
have room. So
it's
missing
a
out on a
waste.
little bit, but you're making a bunch of 3-1s. So this is sort of, I was considering, shadow stepping the flick for something like this, but not too bad. There's only 3 left. You have Devoted Maniac now. Oh wow, you get the full Galakrond next turn. You could probably even Houndmaster coin, or yeah, I guess you Ethereal Lackey first to see. Because your next couple turns, you just want to dump stuff to be able to play this Galakrond and then play all the minions and things you get with it.
Well, I was going to say Eviscerate's probably the best choice right now.
Yeah. So not going to play the Shaw this turn then, choosing to Eviscerate to just clear out. And I like that. I don't mind that play at all.
Galakrond
Next turn. Yeah, next turn Galakrond. It draws 4. You can play like the coin, or yeah, you can play the coin first if you want, or play like sap on something. This isn't going to be a sap target, and again another swarm of locusts off the top.
Would you play that, or would you save it? Use the weapon and then...
Yeah, I think you just play it. You just build boards they can't deal with, and Kronks could potentially deal with this with the right draws off of these Galakrond, but not quite. That's why I kind of like playing the Shaw, because last turn, I guess you can play it this turn. You can Shaw, coin Galakrond, and hope you get some minions. I guess you Galakrond first, yeah, because you have just enough space, and then you can Shaw. Oh wait, no, you're 1 mana short for the Shaw. So yeah, Shaw last turn has been really nice because
Edwin would have been able to do something. Well, yeah, you're right. So
because then all these minions that you're summoning can then spawn. I actually would have could play the Generous Mummy here and played the
and just
because you can make a giant Edwin, which could win you the game, but probably just going to Shadow Step one of these actually, these Faceless, just to clear more. And then so you're gonna Shadow Step the other one, play the Faceless Lackey. Yeah, I think I like this play a lot. I would have liked to see the Houndmaster Shaw last turn just to make this a little bit cleaner, but working out okay. Just using so much damage on these minions, but that is the last giant board build of the deck. So if you're able to kind of stabilize and not build too big of a board for something like Unleash, might be able to get the win here. And I think making that read, and that's why we didn't see the Faceless come down with a couple of other things. Actually, did he have mana to do that? I'm not sure if he did.
the big giant coming out to play. Does it get buffed? No, not enough mana. No.
All right. So you can make a big taunt here potentially. If that's what you want to do. You can actually Houndmaster Shaw and make the 8/8 if you want. Oh, actually, this is really nice. You can Seal of Fate, trade this, or double trade this, just to not give them the benefit of the 1 discount. And now the question is, I guess you just hold on to these Faceless. You do not want to just give them more fuel for this Unleash, because that's probably the only way that you really give them the board again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other...
Well, he's already burned 1 Unleash, right? So he's only got that left for a big board. So he's unless he's got another Shuma in his deck.
Yeah. Could happen. Could happen. And now this tracking is actually a little bit awkward, because with 11 cards left, this tracking, you mill 2 of them, you're starting to run out of steam. So we'll see. What is the make an 8/8 maybe and sap here?
Yeah, I think a big. Yep.
Or maybe you don't sap. Oh, Shadow Step the Kronks. I like that.
Do it again. If you got mana, which you should, because it's 4. Yep.
Are too late.
Another big 8-8.
Turn is nigh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna
Ooh.
be tough to deal with. The Unleash plus, I think maybe you just play it all out. You play Unleash, you play the Dragon's Bane and Hero Power, and see what happens. I think it's just gonna come down to that here.
Because you're certainly not going to face tank the taunts right now.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that. This tracking, I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know his deck exactly, but I'm curious what. I mean, these Griffins are kind of awkward. They do have 4 damage rush, so with the Hero Power, they're at 6. But is that really?
That's 7.
Like, I guess you can play the Griffin and the Unleash in Hero Power, and then that's still like kind of awkward with these. But we'll see. We'll see what the turn ends up becoming. Yeah. So this will be the last Unleash.
Quickly.
This Hero Power. It's going to be able to clear off and push 6 or just full clear.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. So that's the last Unleash. So I think actually these faceless lackeys could start coming down.
That's hot.
Yeah, and Bill Snyder agrees. And wow,
That's
what
a good one.
what a roll there! That is incredible. You know you're not going to see another Unleash. You've seen both of them. There's no other ones in the deck. Remaining cards are probably like second Desert Spear, Faceless Corruptor, maybe a second Questing, Sea Giant. So the only thing this really kind of is awkward against is Sea Giant, but you're setting up to just kill them next turn. So not gonna be too upset about that.
Yep, dragons.
Kind of awkward. You can Dragon Bane, Bone Wraith, Hero Power, or you can
It's Ziliax and
Ziliax and Bone Wraith maybe just to
Precision.
protect yourself. Interesting. Okay. I like playing out stuff, but I see how healing also could be a good option. Right now we've got 6 on the board. Plus Leroy is 12. So not quite there. Yeah, I could see the Leroy come down, do like some double trade here with the 1/1s. These 1/1s aren't pushing too much. And yeah, there you go.
That's
All right.
just gonna do it, I think.
Yeah, I think that will probably seal it. I don't really know. This has to hit probably Leroy to
Escape.
Yeah, with this sap, it's just, and that's not Leroy. That is face. You like hidden face, but this sap is just going to end the game here. There's exact lethal with the sap and not needing anything from hand, even though there was damage from hand available. So there you go. That is 2-2 now. Able to stabilize, come back, and leverage that for a win here. Really, really smart play by both players. Just edging out here. Bill Snyder, though, able to
eke it through.
keep getting. I mean, that Shaw was pretty nice. Able to survive some of those last board builds that the Hunter has, and now it's going to come down to Warlock into Quest Hunter. This is going to be tough for Corbin, I think. For our viewers out there that don't know, I keep switching because I always call Bill Snyder Corbin. That's his real is not his gamer tag. It's his
real name.
His real name.
Alternate real name.
His alternate real name. So I know him by that. So I'm sorry for viewers out there that are confused. If you don't know, Bill Snyder is Corbin. I'm trying to say Bill Snyder because that's his gamer tag, but every once in a while I'll slip up. So I apologize. But yeah, so it's going to come down to this one. This the Warlock into the Hunter. I'm curious what this Warlock is going to be. Like we said, there's a couple options, but I think this is definitely in favor of
You know
of
what
the
this
Hunter.
Warlock's gonna be, man. Come on now.
I'm not sure. We were talking about a couple options. I don't know what he settled on.
Yeah, it's whatever they're comfortable playing with, and knowing that he's going up against the hunter that's got the quest. If he did go with Galakron type, like Super Murloc did last time, he should be able to handle whatever is thrown at him. I think pretty well.
Yeah, I think it depends on the build. It'll come down to getting that early board and keeping it. So we'll see what Warlock this is, and it does look like Zoo. So I actually think this is pretty tough for the Zoo. You have low health minions, and they have a lot of rush minions that deal with your low health minions, but and things like Sea Giant. And again with that questing, just hitting it every game.
Yeah.
Job's done.
Isn't that an automatic though? That quest?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you would consider. I mean, you play questing, and questing is just so good. Wow, this is not a bad start though for Bill Snyder, the evil genius onto this Scarab Egg. Although Unleash the Hounds is going to kind of throw a wrench into that plan a little bit, but I think you can't really play around it too much. Interesting. Okay. So choosing not to play the questing just yet, you have plenty of time to get the value off of it. Not sure. Yeah.
That 1/1 off the board. Not knowing that he had the evil genius.
Yeah, the evil genius is going to be pretty good here. And I like giving one of these 1/1s some health, probably. This Unleash is going to do some work, though, if it does come down. I think it's going to be... Oh, and that just makes it even better. Not quite a full clear, I think, with Unleash. I think it's 1 damage off, right? Because... Oh, no, it's actually a full clear, exactly, with the Unleash here. So gonna see if you choose to do that. I think you have to. It's just too good. It accelerates your quest by 6, 7 with the swing, the Desert Spear. You'll be at 8 out of 20 and can start moving along. You have the Swarm of Locusts to make another 7 potentially, and it just curves out really well. Definitely rewarded for the choice to coin out this Desert Spear. And still, still gonna get value off this questing next turn. There's not really another play for him in hand at this point.
That Zero Giant looking mighty.
Yeah, it's looking 0 right now, but it's gonna go right back up to 10 in a second here.
Poor dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad draw, and evolving the 3-drop into a 4-drop. I like that. Hitting another 3/1, but this 3/1 summons more 1/1s, so I'll take it. You gave it a Death Rattle. 1 mana, give your minion Death Rattle, summon 3 Microbots. I would play that. And summon a 1/1, so.
Oh, he is going to play that quest again, so.
Lots and lots of quests.
He's not going to get burned this time for the quest, but.
Yeah, I mean, we could see the same situation actually happen again if he's not able to get a couple of these rush minions off. It could actually come down to turn 6 if he doesn't draw something like what's it called, the rush cat. Why am I blanking? Spring Paw.
There you go.
Jeez. So if he finds something like Spring Paw, he'd be very happy with that. But oh, there it is.
There you go.
But it can be a little bit awkward here with this Swarm. Is potentially, otherwise the Swarm would have gotten rid of the rush again, the 4/4 rush. So getting a little bit lucky there with that top deck of this Spring Paw and able to play this Giant. This is pretty strong. Next turn, this one Locust can come down, and that would actually complete the quest into the Shuma turn to just build another board. So pretty good start here for Super Murloc.
Faceless gets rid of the Giant.
Yeah, I think we could see maybe this 3/1 going in, and then you can Faceless one of the Microbots, and then you're able to trade it in and the 1/1 if to clear. and then you have a 4/2 that you trade into the quest, or 4/4 you trade into the questing. That becomes a 4/2.
How about a new
Yeah.
How about a new life?
Hey,
Yep.
I got you, friend.
Yep. So actually, it'll be a 4/4 with that sidekick, and things are coasting. But this Swarm of Locusts is going to present 7 damage that can go into these minions, and it's going to pretty much full clear. Just leave a 1/1 up and finish your quest into Shuma. This is going to be tough. Really strong start for Bill, but finding that Unleash, finding the Swarm of Locusts, and especially that Spring Paw, I think really making a huge difference for Super Murloc.
Yeah.
I think without that Spring Paw, this could be a little bit different. All right,
Yeah,
Knife
giant just out of
Juggler.
reach.
I think Knife Juggler and Devoted Maniac is probably just has to be the play. It does the Invoke does summon a couple of those, so
yeah,
you get the.
Ahead.
Yeah, I think definitely considering the hero power just to draw more, but I think you're running out of time here, and you really need to start dealing damage to the face. Shuma is good, but it's not going to be able to deal with this board. So actually, you might see the Cult Master and this Hench Clan just kill off this Knife Juggler. And that's exactly what we're going to see. Able to draw one and get rid of that big threat in the Knife Juggler.
Oh,
All right, I
there's a
think
good
we're
one.
going to see a tap come down here.
Tap giant Grim Rally. Oh.
Tap Flame Imp Giant Grim Rally.
No particular order.
Yeah, I just probably swing with one of these imps to the face, then go Grim Rally onto it. And Bill agrees.
And then the rest to face or clear?
I think you have to clear this Cult Master every time. So the only question is, do you clear this 1/1? I think with the hero power active already, you do, because the 1/1 trades into your 4/3 favorably.
Nope.
Interesting. Leroy Unleash. You can't hero power with it right now, so that's only 10 damage. And really like a solid board here for Bill. Unleash hero power would do a decent amount clearing here. You just leave the 9/9 up, or just clear the 9/9. There's a couple options. Maybe considering that now. The taunt's not bad either, but it doesn't really stop anything from happening.
He's only taking 5 if he takes the 4/3 out and 9/9.
Yeah, so Leroy plus Unleash is 12 damage, sorry, because you do summon the 2 minions, but that's not going to be enough.
Opting for a Bone Wraith.
Yeah, so
I move quickly.
Bill Snyder making a really good play here to kind of set up a potential lethal. Not going to be able to get there through this minion specifically, but maybe with some top decks.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like that one.
Is that enough damage? You're able to
6.
Yeah, so you can
15.
Leroy and then play the beaming, kill the other half with the beaming, and then you have exactly 16 damage. So yeah, you Leroy. Oh, no, wait. That's a missed lethal, isn't it? Because Leroy was another, because then you could
15.
connect with the 9 plus the 7, that was exact lethal. Oh, that's a missed lethal right there. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, and he had the
doing the
wacky
math
too.
again.
Oh my god.
I'm doing the math again. I'm pretty sure, because if you swing with the Leroy into the 4/5, and then swing with the 2/3 into the 4/1, you still have the 9 plus the 4 plus the 3. That's exact lethal. Yeah, so that's actually a missed lethal by Corbin there to actually get the reverse sweep. Let's see if this is enough damage. He's still 1 mana off for Super Murloc to get the really crazy combo with the Leroy Unleash and the hero power. Not gonna be able to do that this turn, but can unleash Hench Clan hero power, which might be just enough, because out of hand for Bill Snyder is only 8 damage, so 1 off. because of that missed lethal. We'll see if he can find that 1 damage off the top. I do believe this will, yeah, this should full clear. So 1 damage off right now. This Knife Juggler actually should do it, right? Because you Knife Juggler and then play Kobold Lackey, go face with the 2 damage, play the Draconic Lackey to make sure you hit 1 face. And you hit 1 face anyway, so you don't need to. You can just Leroy. And that's lethal. And wow, Bill Snyder is able to do it. The reverse sweep of the Quest Hunter. Whew, missed lethal there in the turn before, or 2 turns before, but still able to get there. Wow, those were some very close and very crazy games. I didn't think we would see it. I am obviously, you know, ecstatic about the result, and also just the games that we saw. Those games were really incredible, and you know, going all the way to Game 5, seeing kind of these crazy matchups and different outs, and you know, that play, you know, setting up lethal that we potentially missed with the Galcron hero power, with the Rogue, and other, you know, vice versa for Super Murloc, setting up some really nice lethals, different ways, being one-off mana or one-off damage a couple times, and it was just super close. Really great series by both players.
Well, Bill said he can do an interview, so
yeah, let's get him in here.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, congratulations, buddy. Those were some crazy games, going all the way to Game 5. I could tell definitely maybe the length and you know, the level of play was getting to you. It was a lot of really intense games that you need to be pretty accurate to survive some of those. And actually, I don't know if you noticed, but you did miss lethal that last game, 2 turns before you were able to get lethal. If you had played the Leroy, traded into the 4/5 with the Leroy and the 2/3, you had exact lethal with the Sea Giant and the other 2 minions with 16 damage. So
that's not super surprising. I felt like there was a lethal there, but fatigue was definitely getting to me at that point. And I knew, because was that before he used no, he still had his second unleash, so I didn't want to put him in a situation where I had to leave a minion on board to try to set up lethal. And so yeah, that doesn't surprise me, and apologies to anybody that had to see that. And
it wasn't that obvious.
Disappointed.
Yeah, interview's over, Bill. We're good now.
We're done.
Okay.
Shutting it down.
Well, thankfully, I still got there.
Yeah.
Credit to Super Murloc and his team. And I got to give a shout out to Itachi. I have a sneaking suspicion that he was in Super Murloc's ear, setting up his lineup and helping him get ready. And I tried something a little different this week. And I tell you what, guys, I cannot have a series in Legacy that doesn't go to 5 games. I told Yellow Dart that the other night in the call. I said, it doesn't matter who I'm playing against. I could play against Avi, or I could play against
Saku. Yeah.
Somebody's puppy dog. And either way,
that's Saku.
Going to Game 5. Like,
so Saku, Saku is somebody's puppy dog.
There you go.
So it was a lot of fun. GG's to Super Murloc. I don't envy how he feels right now. He just messaged me and said, GG's reverse up. That blows a lot. And I've been there. Dude.
He came pretty close to giving you a sweep there with that Hunter versus I think it was Warrior. Yeah,
Warrior.
Yeah.
I was really concerned on that last turn of him being able to find enough damage to get there, but I was like, this is how I set up lethal. I play Galacron on turn 9 and hero power and punch him in the face.
Yeah, that was a really great play. We were talking about that as well, and I was like, is there any 2-mana minion in his deck that gets lethal? And then I was like, oh, of course you get the new hero power, which gives you 3 damage, and that's perfect. definitely noticed it before me and set up. We were talking about that turn before. I was like, do you go face with all of these, or do you make any trades? And we were trying to do some math and figure out, what are the cutoffs, what damage do you want him at, and you figured it out very quickly there to get him to 8 to set up for that.
Yeah, I mean, the warrior was definitely a little bit of a disappointment.
Mhm.
Throughout the course of this meta, it's kind of been my go-to deck, and I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna have to reevaluate because it just didn't show up today.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult, I guess, the first match there. I guess even with Warlock, it almost seemed like it was wasn't drawing what you needed to draw. And
Well, yeah, and I mean, with big taunts like that and Big and Druid makes,
yeah,
I kind of like had a gut feeling that it was going to be in Big and Druid. Like I kept telling my team, I think he's trying to bamboozle me. I think he's trying to bamboozle me.
but did you expect 2 Embiggens in the same turn?
I mean,
Yeah, do you expect that kind of curve to come out?
that is how that deck blows people out. I mean, if their top 2 Embiggens are in the top 10 of their deck, and they can get those out and get a minion, a large taunt, like he got the 8-12 dragon taunt
Mhm.
guy. I'm not
Yeah.
sure the name right now. It's just, it makes it impossible for really anything to get over. The good thing about Rogue, I did have saps in my Rogue, and so I was
Yeah.
like, well, I don't have to get in a hurry. I just need to draw sap. Well,
Nope.
I never drew
What sap?
so-
What sap? Yep.
Yeah, it was actually crazy that game's sort of watching that. It was probably as clean as you could sort of hope for a start for that druid, and it was cool to watch. Like making everything +4/+4 for 2. It does cost 2 more mana in your deck, but I don't know.
The
I
upside
think
on
you
that
take
is too big. Yeah.
And then having the Breath of Dreams to cycle and ramp, that was, that also helped a lot. It was able to kind of curve out really nicely with the minions that he was drawing.
Mhm.
I think like the first minion was 5 mana because it was it was the Scale Rider, which is normally 3, but it was changed all the way up to
7/7.
5. But
Yep.
it was a 7/7, and he was able to play that on 5 or 5 mana, which would have been turn 4 because he was able to ramp on turn 2 with the Breath of Dream.
Do you guys remember when we used to meme about 4 mana 7/7s? And now
Yeah.
there's a 4 mana 7/7 that shoots you for 2.
It was 5 mana 7/7 to shoot you for 2,
Yeah.
but still, and
By
it was
default,
a
it's
5
4.
mana. Yeah, it was a 5 mana 7/7 that also accelerated a quest that summoned like an 8/12 or whatever it was, like you said, while doing what your deck normally wants to do anyway. So that was cool to watch. I haven't seen too much of the Embiggen Druid, a little bit on ladder, but that definitely was the cleanest I've seen it play, and I can see why people enjoy playing it. Because when you can do that, that's fun.
And it's a little bit different too. It's a little bit different than anything that you can play on ladder right now. Galakron Warrior goes face, Galakron Rogue goes face. You have all these face decks, and then Embiggen Druid kind of gives you the ability to develop a mid-range game plan and kind of execute on it. So that was really interesting to see, and it wasn't fun by any means, but it was interesting. And
I'm sure your desk had a few holes in it.
my desk, I've got a wounded monitor right now. I've drank about 2 gallons of water from game 1 to game 5.
Oh God. Okay, go pee or something.
Yeah,
Man. You're gonna.
I did. That was the short break between game 4 and game 5. Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, man.
That's pretty funny.
Man.
Well, thanks so much, Bill, for joining us tonight, and congrats on the win.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It was a good time. It was some
And-
great matches.
And thanks, Super Murloc. He was the one that got everything set up, and I just agreed to it. So he was the one that reached out to me and said, "Hey, can we shoot for a stream time?" I said, "Go for it." While I've got a second, I want to thank my captain, Yellow Dart, and my teammate Zabe, Turd Herder, my Anadon. You guys are great. I love you. I couldn't have done this without you. So thank you so much.
So
Yeah,
I have one
of
more
course.
question before you go, Bill.
Sure.
Why are you in the 5 seed?
I'm just in the 4.
Oh, you're in the
Tank-
4. Okay.
Tank's got the
Ah.
the 5 locked down for us. But
Okay, that's Turd. That's right. So, okay, my bad. Sorry, Turd.
Yeah.
You have your
So-
5 seed, Turd.
So here's the deal. So Tap Last Legacy won the championship last season, and I messaged Yellow Dart and I'm like, hey, you guys want to get a championship this season? I've heard there's pretty good 4 seeds available, and he's like, let's do it. And so here I am.
Man. Yeah. That's what was baffling, I think, when we were doing the reveals. Like, that's a 4 seed's a little sketchy.
A little stacked.
But I've like it's been close this season, soccer.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of my series have gone 5 games. I've just came out on the lucky end of the 3.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it just shows that the doesn't really matter. 4 seed, 3 seed, 2 seeds, pretty comparable play, I guess, from all 3 slots there. So
yeah, and everybody in this environment is the skill margin between individuals is very small. The greatest player, like you can tell Mynodon's better than me because he spotted that lethal, right? Like that's why
you
I'm in the
you
4
saw
seed.
the rogue one, man. I was it's tough out here when you're casting and you're talking all the time. It's tough to think out the lines as cleanly, but
mhm.
you did find some really good ones, and Super Murloc as well. I think you guys both played at a great level. Last time I think I casted Super Murloc, he's even from that last time I casted, he's improved a lot, and you can see it
Yeah.
here.
Yep, 100%.
So
And you're
well,
always great, man. You always we co-op a lot and stuff, and I love playing together, and I think you're a great player, and you showed it tonight as well. So
Yep. So congrats again.
congratulations.
Yep.
yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem, buddy. Enjoy your night.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So
Wow.
we do have a Saturday night match. I was just going to get into the matches, I think, for tomorrow. So it's going to be Stream Up by Donde, and I'm trying to remember who the other person that was supposed to be Stream Up or casting with them.
It will be me.
Oh, it's you.
Donde asked me. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of content this weekend.
So you're trying to catch up to the Big Ted, are you?
Yeah,
Trying to log in some hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna log some hours. Maybe I'll just stay and just chat for the next 24 hours or something till tomorrow night,
Yeah,
and then I can win the Guinness World THL record.
That's right.
THL record of longest casting or stream.
Yep. So I guess the matches that we have, if they're still confirmed, as far as I know they are, is Electabuzz. Don't know what team he's on because it doesn't on Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Silver Fox Demon. Just gotta find out what team they are on.
Yeah, I think so. I did get some of this. Where is the?
Okay, so Electabuzz is on team No Pros here, and Silver Fox is on the Burninators. Then we have Ron Mexico, which is going to be the same group that was playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
From the Gold Conference is the old Dad Legend with the Yellow Dart versus Ron Mexico there. So the 2 seeds are duking it out at 10 p.m. Electabuzz and Silver Fox Demon
really? Okay.
are doing the 9 p.m. So unless the times have changed, I'd double check with Donde, but
Yeah, I thought maybe there was something a little different, but I trust you. You've probably got more updated information than I do.
Yeah. Well, not really, but yeah. I just asked Donde, and
I
Donde's
feel
like,
like he
huh?
posted it somewhere earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I saw it in the chat that Donde and I were doing, but things may have changed. That was on Monday, so
Yeah. But yeah, so there are going to be 2 more matches tomorrow, so stay tuned for those. It'll be me and Donde, and I think that's it from us. Thank you again, Saku, as always. Pleasure. And thanks everybody for watching, and hope you enjoyed those matches. There were definitely some highlights for sure. We saw Druid struggle, but then we also saw Truid at its best with that Embiggen doing exactly what he wants to do. And then we saw Hunter get reverse swept, and Quest Hunter, which I haven't seen quite as much of. So that was kind of cool to see the little intricacies there. And you know, maybe not working out great here, but there's definitely potential there.
The double Embiggen. Just think of that.
Oh yeah.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Oh, we forgot we also do have a Sunday match too with Mark Shire and Berserk in the Pro Series. So
Oh, boom.
that's at 8 p.m. So tune in to watch that too. So, on behalf of my Anadon and myself, Saku, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
Goodbye.
Thank you.